Hey everybody, it's your boy, your name, channel name, coming at you with some news that might just make you rearrange your travel plans. Specifically, we're diving deep into the top 10 countries that might just give Indian travelers the side eye in 2024 and 2025. So buckle up, grab your passports and maybe a backup plan or two, and let's navigate the ever-changing world of travel restrictions together. First up, we're heading over to Country A, and let me tell you, things are a little tense. You see, Country A and India haven't exactly been on the best of terms lately, and their recent diplomatic spat has spilled over into travel restrictions. Think of it like this. Remember that time you had a disagreement with your neighbour about their dog using your lawn as a personal bathroom? It's kind of like that, but instead of passive-aggressive lawn ornaments, we're talking about visa applications getting lost and border control taking a little longer than usual, if you catch my drift. The reasons behind the beef? Well, let's just say it's a complicated web of historical disagreements, trade disputes, and maybe a sprinkle of he said, she said thrown in for good measure. But the bottom line is, if you're planning on visiting Country A anytime soon, be prepared for some extra hurdles. And look, I'm not saying you won't be able to get in, but just remember, patience is a virtue. So do your research, stay updated on the latest travel advisories, and maybe pack a good book. You might be waiting a while at the border. Next up, we're jetting off to Country B, a place usually known for its stunning landscapes and vibrant culture. But lately, they've been making headlines for a different reason: super strict health regulations. You see, Country B had a bit of a health scare recently, and they're taking absolutely no chances when it comes to preventing another one. We're talking mandatory quarantines longer than your last relationship, health screenings more intense than a job interview at Google, and a list of required vaccinations longer than your arm. Now, I know what you're thinking, but your name, channel name, I'm as healthy as a prize-winning mango. I don't need all that. And you might be right, my friend, but Country B isn't taking any risks. They're operating on a better safe than sorry policy, which, while understandable, can be a bit of a pain for travelers. So if you're planning on soaking up some sun on the beaches of Country B, be prepared to jump through a few hoops first. Make sure you're up to date on all your vaccinations, pack enough hand sanitizer to last you through a zombie apocalypse, and get ready to embrace the quarantine life. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to enter the world of international diplomacy. Or should I say diplomacy later? That's right. We're talking about Country C, a nation currently locked in a diplomatic standoff with India that would make a staring contest between cats look like a friendly game of patty cake. Now, I'm not a diplomat, but I've watched enough episodes of House of Cards to know that when two countries aren't seeing eye to eye, travel restrictions often become the weapon of choice. And in this case, Country C is wielding that weapon like a seasoned pro. So stay informed, check for updates on the diplomatic situation, and maybe brush up on your origami skills. You're going to need a hobby while you wait for those travel restrictions to ease up. All right, folks, buckle up, because we're heading to Country D, a land where the political climate is about as predictable as the weather in England. You see, Country D recently went through a bit of a political shake-up, and let's just say the new folks in charge aren't exactly known for their warm and fuzzy feelings towards India. The new government in Country D has implemented some, shall we say, interesting policies, and those policies have unfortunately extended to travel restrictions for Indian citizens. We're talking stricter visa requirements, increased scrutiny at the border, and a general sense that you're not exactly the most welcome guest at the party. So do your homework, stay informed about the ever-changing political landscape, and maybe pack a copy of Diplomacy for Dummies. You might just learn a thing or two. Next stop on our world tour of travel restrictions, Country E, a place usually known for its laid-back vibe and stunning natural beauty. However, lately they've been cracking down on health regulations harder than a squirrel trying to hide a nut. Now, I'm all for staying healthy and safe, but Country E is taking things to a whole new level. We're talking mandatory health insurance policies that would make your wallet cry health screenings more thorough than a background check for a top-secret government job, and a list of required vaccinations longer than your grocery list after a month of quarantine. So, if you're planning on exploring the hidden gems of Country E, be prepared to do your research and pack your patience. Make sure you have all the necessary documents, vaccinations, and insurance coverage, and be ready for a few extra checks and balances along the way. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to enter the turbulent skies of international relations. Our next destination is Country F, a nation currently caught in a diplomatic tug-of-war with India that would make a game of Red Rover look like a friendly handshake. And unfortunately for Indian travellers, the current spat between Country F and India has resulted in a travel ban thicker than your grandma's lentil soup. We're talking cancelled flights, denied visas, and enough diplomatic tension to power a small city. But the bottom line is, if you're hoping to experience the vibrant culture and stunning landscapes of Country F, you might want to hit pause on those travel plans for now. So, stay informed, keep an eye on the news, and maybe brush up on your international relations knowledge. Fasten your seatbelts, travellers, because we're about to navigate the bumpy terrain of international politics once again. Our next stop is Country G, a land where the political landscape is about as predictable as a game of roulette. You see, Country G has been going through a bit of a political identity crisis lately, with new leadership, shifting alliances, and enough political intrigue to make your head spin. In this case, the new regime in Country G has implemented some, shall we say, unique policies, and those policies have unfortunately extended to travel restrictions for Indian citizens. We're talking stricter visa requirements, increased scrutiny at the border, and a general feeling that you're walking on eggshells from the moment you step off the plane. So, do your research, stay informed about the ever-changing political climate, and maybe pack a good book. You might have some extra time on your hands while you wait for those visa approvals. Next stop on our global travel adventure, Country H, a nation known for its stunning landscapes and warm hospitality. However, lately, they've been taking the phrase "better safe than sorry" to a whole new level when it comes to health regulations. Now, I'm all for staying healthy while traveling, but Country H has implemented some of the strictest health protocols this side of a surgical ward. We're talking mandatory health insurance policies that would make your bank account shiver, health screenings more thorough than a background check for a top-secret government job, and a list of required vaccinations longer than your to-do list after a 2-week vacation. So, if you're planning on exploring the hidden gems of Country H, be prepared to do your homework and pack your patience. Make sure you have all the necessary documents, vaccinations, and insurance coverage, and be ready for a few extra checks and balances along the way. Hold on to your passports, folks, because we're about to enter the complex and often confusing world of international diplomacy. Our next destination is Country WAMS, a nation currently navigating a diplomatic dance with India that's more awkward than a middle school slow dance. Now, I'm no expert in international relations, but I've watched enough news to know that when two countries aren't seeing eye to eye, travel restrictions often become the weapon of choice. And in this case, Country 1 is wielding that weapon with the grace of a rhinoceros, trying to perform ballet. So stay informed, check for updates on the diplomatic situation, and maybe brush up on your origami skills. You're going to need a hobby while you wait for those travel restrictions to ease up. Last but not least, we arrive at Country J, a land where the political climate is about as stable as a Jenga tower after a few rounds of tequila shots. You see, Country J recently experienced a bit of a political earthquake with new leadership, shifting alliances, and enough political drama to make a reality TV show jealous. In this case, the new regime in Country J has implemented some, shall we say, interesting policies, and those policies have unfortunately extended to travel restrictions for Indian citizens. We're talking stricter visa requirements, increased scrutiny at the border, and a general feeling that you're not exactly the most welcome guest at the party. So, do your homework, stay informed about the ever-changing political landscape, and maybe pack a copy of Diplomacy for Dummies. You might just learn a thing or two. And there you have it, folks. The top 10 countries that might just make Indian travelers reconsider their vacation plans in 2024 and 2025. Look, I know it's a lot to take in, and the world of travel restrictions can feel about as clear as mud sometimes. So before you pack your bags and jet off on your next adventure, remember to stay informed, plan ahead, and maybe have a backup plan or two, just in case. Because here at Your Name channel name, we're all about keeping you informed, entertained, and ready to explore the world. one complicated visa application at a time.